would you feel if out of a stroke of genius, okay, your turkey, your perfectly fried turkey emerges from a pan? How would you feel?
Hi guys, Charlie. So today, affirmative girl, we're going to surprise her. We're going to appear and disappear in her house. Let's see, Charlie, follow up. We want to know the nitty gritty of the affirmative. Okay, so guys, we are in Affirmative's house. We are going to talk. Let's find out from Mama Affirmative how she took the whole trend when her daughter was trending. Charlie, it's some way.
This is overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. Oh, Mama Affirmative, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Like, how did you get to know about it that your daughter was trending?
Actually, I think I was in the kitchen. I was doing something, and a friend of mine called and said, "Have you seen the video all over the social media?" I'm like, "What video?" And then I said, "Okay, could it be my daughter's?" Because she told me she was interviewed. They said, "You should look at it." I'm like, "Goodness!" So I had to go
Go check it
download.
out.
I don't have the TikTok,
Okay.
so I had to go download TikTok and then find it. And I was overwhelmed, like staggered. I was totally overwhelmed. I asked myself, what's happening? Like with all the comments and everything. Like you know how it feels. Like how would you feel if out of a stroke of genius, okay, your turkey, your perfectly fried turkey emerges from a pan? How would you feel?
No wonder Mama Affirmative is another grammarian altogether. So yes, but like we are Ghanaians. How come your daughter doesn't speak any of our local language?
Oh, that one. That their dad is a Fanti,
Okay.
and he's partly from Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, okay, okay.
So like he's not too good with the local languages, so we ended up like speaking English all the time.
them.
Yeah, and we didn't take time to introduce them to the local languages. That's where the challenge came in for them. But it's all good because it makes them like very comfortable with expression and communication and all that.
Oh my goodness. So okay. I know there are instances where maybe you even take them home or for a festive or a program, and then maybe they are speaking the local language with them, and then they seem not to be understanding. Like, how do you feel about it? Because they say we need to teach our children our Ghanaian culture, our language, everything. Like,
Sometimes it's a little boring because they are unable to fit into society, and I personally feel bad. So what I've been doing now is getting them to go along, like go out, go to the outer world, buy stuffs, do groceries,
Okay.
where they have to communicate, okay, and then they have the privilege of getting to interact with people in the language and
Okay.
building it up, small. We'll get there.
did you see the okay, your first daughter or your first girl? Did you see her video as well?
I did, and it was you that did the same video.
Yes.
But then we didn't have the privilege to meet you.
So okay, so myself, I was wondering how did it happen? I did that last year. Then this year I was like, okay, so BEC is starting. I want to do this video about them, and so I was even late, and then coming, and I just saw her. I didn't even know she was related to her until I spoke to her, and then she reinstated what the big sister said. You say your family you don't feel. What's the secret?
Oh my God, that's one. Please forgive me.
Your family you don't feel.
Right. Okay. So that started with way back with a couple of struggles and issues that we have to endure for a season as a family.
Yeah.
Okay, and all happened when their father suffered kind of injury.
Okay.
Went to the family house and suffered an injury, and he lost his memory. Okay, and that was when things started going like a downward trend
Yeah.
for us as a family. It was really tough, very difficult. We virtually started losing everything along the way. They hadn't had school like the way everyone would look at it, like it's been up and down for them. They had to change one school
To the other.
because we had to run out of this, because economically sometimes it was a bit tough, so we kept moving from here and there. And at a point, they felt the impact of the struggle. They felt like they were failures. Like I all of us, like we felt like, no, things are never going to be okay. Like, but then I had to be strong
Encourage them.
and be strong and encourage them. Then I had to also try to psych them, mentally get them to see that even when you fail, failure in itself is a blessing.
Let me get back to Affirmative. Are your friends calling you by that name?
Yes.
They're calling you Affirmative now.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're enjoying the buzz, eh? So, like, how did you get to watch your video yourself? How did you watch it, or how did you get to know about it?
Actually, I don't have a phone. My
Okay.
phone got spoiled recently. So it was one of my friends that showed it to me.
Oh, okay.
She actually showed me the trend and everything. Yeah.
Wow. And then I think the next, when you were done, I asked you how you were feeling, and then instead of saying maybe you were excited or using a different word, you decided to use one big word. People said it's wrong. What do you think? Is it wrong?
I think in the olden days, they were taught that the word extravagant means overspending.
Okay.
It also means that it's correct,
Yeah.
but when used as a expression of an emotion, it can be used to express like a good emotion.
Okay.
So it means indulging in something that makes you feel good or happy.
Wow. Like, do you take time to like just learn words, like learn some vocabs to be using them one after the other?
No, actually, when I'm talking, it comes.
Naturally.
Yeah. I want to be a specialist plastic surgeon. I want to major in both reconstructive and cosmetic surgery.
That's what you want to do.
That's what I want to do.
Like, what's the drive? What's the passion? What's pushing you to do that?
I used to have an auntie.
Okay.
When I was 5, I went to visit her for a sleepover because she has kids.
Okay.
So my mom took us all 4 of us to go for a sleepover. And I saw her hair, and she had no hair.
Okay.
So it was going through my head, and I was like, so I asked her, and I was like, Auntie, why do you have Santo hair? Are you a man? You have no hair on your head. But actually, she had cancer.
Oh, okay.
So my mom brought me to the side and smarted me.
Okay.
She gave me a resounding smack.
Okay.
So everything was going through my head, and she took her time to explain to me
Okay.
why you don't say that. She told me people with sort of sicknesses and deformities, you don't talk bad about them because it's not easy living with a deformity.
Okay.
It affects their self-confidence. And also some go through stigmatization. So I felt really sad inside. I felt really brokenhearted. So I began to I developed an art. So I started drawing and
Oh, you
painting.
draw also?
Yeah.
Like,
So
like you
at the
can-
age of 10, 8, I started making art.
Okay.
Because my mom told me that if I want, so I wanted to solve it. I wanted to solve that
Solve
problem.
that problem. Okay.
Yeah. So my mom said the only way I can solve it is if I grow up and I study plastic surgery. So I developed a passion towards that.
I ask myself, how is it like coincidentally you interviewed an elderly sister
Yes.
a year before, and then you meet her younger sister
one.
a year after?
That's what, like, until she said, just like my sister said, that was like, I was like, oh, okay.
That been overwhelming. Like,
Yeah.
I've been wondering, asking myself, why? What is the reason? What's the purpose? There must be something,
Behind.
yes, that
Oh.
we perhaps our family need to offer to our community or society,
I
and
know, right?
we are happy to play that role in any way at all
Yeah.
possible.
In fact, to be able to even play the two roles, the father, the mother, and still get them on track with this psyche that in our family we don't feel. I think a lot of kids or a lot of parents will learn from this and also be able to bring up their children in
Yeah.
that regard. I think it
Yes.
will help our community.
You're right.
What would you tell any parent out there who is watching? I think we've already shed light on the fact that. With our Ghanaian culture, they are now learning it, which you think that you've not done so well on that side. But what would you tell any parent out there who is watching with regards to how we need to take care of our kids?
The language, the Ghanaian language is excellent, is beautiful, and we loved it so much, but we understood this at a very early age that the most powerful languages that unites the world happens to be like English, maybe Spanish, French. And so we thought, okay, if we're going to build their confidence, it's important to start by building them in these languages, as we also build the Ghanaian one.
Side of it.
Yes, and I think we don't regret it at all because, like you said, it makes them easy to interact at every time and at every point because it becomes like their chief language. Not to say that the tree, the Ga, I am a Ga Dangbi.
Okay.
I come from Odumase.
Okay.
Not to say that the language is not important. It is very important, but because the first language they go learn in school and the first communication they ever make or establish with their tutors is English. Once they have a good foundation, it's easy for them to like pick it up
And move with it.
and move with it. Yeah.